What's poppin', y'all? One of the top demons of OF, not Odd Future, for those of you that may be a little old or considered unk age now because you grew up on Odd Future. Yeah, I know, it's crazy, isn't it? This chick, Camille, I don't even know how to pronounce her name. Araujo? I'm just gonna pronounce it like Hicksy American, right? Camila Araujo. She was doing this stream with Neon. This chick, I think she's one of the chicks in the Bop house. I don't really know. By the way, that house is gigantic. It's unimaginable how big that house, not unimaginable, but the scale of that house is gigantic. That's just a side note. But that chick, she's making ridiculous money on OF, and she was doing this collaboration with Neon. So she's kicking it with Neon, and then what happens is one of such a chef's kiss moment that I wish we could replay over and over. And I wish she could have this interaction live on the internet every single day, just as a reminder, just as like a little, death by 1,000 cuts type of thing. So I'm going to play you guys the clip of her on Neon's stream right now.
It's Gideon.
I feel like I actually know who that is.
Who?
Isn't that the girl that does OnlyFans?
Oh my gosh. She's
None of that. You should not know that.
My bad.
None of that.
how the
Where are your parents? You should be watching Blippi. None of that. Yeah.
What do you think I am?
I don't know. Too young.
What are you talking about?
You're done.
brother? You're too young to be a gooter.
You're done. You're done. You're done.
He knows what that means.
Bye. Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Who are parenting these children?
That's crazy. Well, no, all right, let's move on. You can't control what the kids see.
Okay. How do we do this?
This is beautiful. Now, some of you are probably like, oh no, this is disgusting. No. Hear me out. This is why this is beautiful. This individual, she is evil incarnate. We have to agree on that. The reason why she's evil incarnate is because, number one, she's like, oh, like, where are your parents at? Where are your parents at? For kids to avoid her content, they would have to have a helicopter parents that don't allow them to do anything. They would nearly have to be Mennonite or Amish. And probably maybe be in a cult. Not saying Mennonite or Amish are a cult, but I'm saying a cult is another place where they would probably avoid seeing her content because she's just everywhere. And then they would call those parents overbearing and not allowing their kids any privacy or to see anything. So she has to look in the face of these kids because before that, she's just like, oh, I'm just online. She doesn't know. She's not interacting with that audience. And keep in mind, by the way that this chick blew up on OF, and this is why this chick is a demon. She was in the Mr. Beast video for Squid Games. I think she was number 67 or something like that. She was in a Mr. Beast video for Squid Games. I don't think she won Squid Games, but she had a lot of attention on her during that video. It was one of Mr. Beast's biggest videos. Squid Games was one of the biggest shows in Netflix history. It was such a huge cultural moment. He made a video about it. It boomed. So she got a ton of attention. And what did she do with that attention? Did she try to, I don't know, maybe start a streaming career? Did she try to be an entertainer and do YouTube and maybe do her own type of thing? No, she hopped directly to OnlyFans. She hopped directly to OF. And what is Mr. Beast's audience? Are we going to pretend like Mr. Beast's audience is adults? It's grown men. It's older guys. All of the people that were watching you were kids. This kid that came up to her, he's like, what, probably 11, 12? He looks middle school aged. He was like 6 years old probably when that video came out. Yeah, he saw you in the Mr. Beast video when he was a kid and you started promoting your OF. So to act shocked like, oh my God, like you're not supposed to be seeing that. What guardrail is there for him to not see you? You were in a Mr. Beast video. This is the craziest part about it. And she was talking about like levels of fulfillment in the car with Neon. I'm going to play you guys that clip right now.
0.5 too. Dipped a little bit. Closer to 1 now. But see, okay, but that just goes to show you.
1 mil?
Yeah, but that just goes to show you, like, if that doesn't fulfill you, then, like, what the will? Do you get what I'm saying?
Hold on, let me see. Yeah, no, I get that. I just, I just feel like if you're making $1 million, like, who the cares, Just $1 million a month. That equals to 12 mil a year. And on top of that, all your other revenues. That's if you have a bad month.
To, like, I made it my entire purpose. Like, bro, I'm going to make the most possible money I can on OnlyFans and then dip. Like, I'm just gonna dip, right? So I think moving, I'm at that point where I'm kind of like
you're lost like me.
Like I'm losing interest. I'm losing interest in that run. Like I'm losing interest in like chasing that high.
You don't care about making the most money now.
So she's saying she was making, I think she said she's made north of $30 million, which it's never enough. For these people, it is never enough. It will never be enough. And this is the whole thing. She's like, yeah, I'm just trying to do it until I don't need to do it anymore. This is cap. Yeah, I remember they will conjure up reasons. The truth is, once you start doing this, that's it. You're committed. There's no like, oh yeah, no, I'm a retired OF girl. No, you're an OF girl. That stays stuck on you. Like it's like if you were a dude and you were doing some weird freaky frog activity, that's on you forever. It's not like, nah, like just like 15 years ago I used to let my chick get cracked by other dudes. Now I'm not on that anymore. No, you are that permanently, just like she would be that. So there's no reason for her to quit. But the cap that they talk about is not, I'm going to quit at this point. I remember, I don't even want to name her. Some of you gooners probably know her, but I remember I met her in LA years ago, and she was talking about like, nah, like I don't be getting cracked on my OF. It was in a group setting, by the way. It wasn't like a one-on-one type of thing. And she was like, she was a nice enough girl. And I was just asking questions. I'm not a judgmental guy. I don't judge people. I was like, oh, so like, what's the point? She's like, oh, I want to create this animal sanctuary, just a bunch of hoopla, right? And she's like, yeah, I wouldn't be getting cracked on camera or anything like that. I just do this. I think at the time she was definitely bare on there. That's what she was saying. But a year later, she's getting cracked by Adam 22. So like that stuff all goes out the window and changes once they see the bread dipping. Like this chick, she's talking about, oh, now she's making an M a month. An M a month? That is insane. And she's talking about not feeling fulfilled. Now, granted, it's not the business model, because there are people with legitimate businesses that make that much or more, and they're still not fulfilled. And they're not necessarily doing something that is poisoning the well of the youth. It's like you used to go to the fountain of youth, you stick your hand in the Lazarus pit, and you're like, damn, I'm young. Now that whole well is poisoned. You stick your hand there, you like age backwards. It's like Benjamin Button. So that's one thing, her conversation with Neon. But then Sneeko reacts to this, and he gives a really good, poignant take. And that jogged my memory a little bit. That made it even more insidious for what she was doing and how she pretended to react.
I feel like I actually know who that is.
Who?
Isn't that the girl that does OnlyFans?
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is this not like borderline? Why don't people call this creepy or weird? Like when a dude is in a relationship with a 19-year-old and he's 22, and they're like, that's so weird. Why is it not weird for these women to be noticed by 9-year-old boys for doing dystopian?
None of that. You should not know that.
Actually, yeah, you do whole campaigns on TikTok so that people know what you do. You blew up farming your brother, making him feel ashamed that you do OF. I saw the campaign. It would be like you'd sit on a podcast with your little brother who was in school, who was a minor, and he'd be like, hey, little brother, are you ashamed that your sister does OnlyFans? And he'd be like, yeah, you're a stop doing it. I'm getting bullied. And he was probably in on it too. And then you blew up. And then you're going to see these kids in public and be like, you shouldn't know that. Hey, then what the... Actually, yeah, that's what you were targeting. You were trying to get kids who are in school on TikTok to goon to you. And people don't never call her a for that.
None of that. You should not know that.
Then delete your OnlyFans and get off social media. Like, did you think that he wasn't going to see it?
How the Where are your parents?
Where are your
You
parents?
should be watching Blippi. None
What, why is she lecturing the kid?
of that. Yeah.
Oh, so everyone glazing capitalism. This is capitalism. This is free market capitalism. She's free to do what she wants with her. Whatever business you want to do, free market capitalism.
I don't know. Too young.
Brother, you're too young to be a gooner.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Bye. Nice to meet you. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, there's a real world example of how she's corrupting the youth and rotting their brains.
Who are parenting these children?
That's crazy. Well, no, let's move on.
No accountability. Who are parenting these children? Who's putting out content that kids are seeing on TikTok so that they... You. Like, what?
That's crazy. Well, no, let's move on. You can't control what kids see.
How do we do this?
Oh, my Lord, man. To be fair, it is the parents' fault. Is it really, though? If we're being, like, these kids don't look like... Yeah, they're hanging out in an arcade. And they go on TikTok. What, so does every other Gen Alpha kid? Are the parents going to know how to, like, block out whatever popular OnlyFans girl for the month? Are they going to know how to do that?
I completely forgot that this girl, I don't even know how old she is. I gotta look up how old this chick is. Give me a moment, guys. Okay, yeah, I'm not used to like taking a break while recording. So she's 23 years old. I thought she was like 26. Not because she looks older or anything, but just because I'm like, what? I feel like she blew up 5 years ago. She didn't even give life a chance. She just hopped right into OF. So she's 23 years old. And he's talking about, yeah, you were doing content with your younger brother, who's a minor. And then I thought about it and I was like, wait, hold on. That's right. And I'm going to play you guys 2 clips with her brother. And there's 2 different sides to the story, but both are evil. I'm going to play you guys them right now.
Do you really think I'm not a good sister?
Well, it's not that you're not a good sister. It's just you gotta think that your actions don't just have, like, doesn't affect not just only you, but it also affects me. Like, next year, I'm gonna be applying for colleges, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do that with things that are on the internet. I might not even be able to get a girlfriend because people, like, they already know. In public, people ask me, do you really like your sister? Do you really approve of this? Like, I actually don't think this could work in my future.
Christian, with everything that I'm doing, like, I've never once wanted it to affect you like this. Bro, I'm sorry. I really don't want it to affect you.
There's nothing else I could say. Like, you everything up. I'm leaving.
Bro, the best and worst part about being my brother?
The worst part? You're just getting way too famous.
Period.
And I've been getting name called a lot more at school. Some random girl said, "See you later, Pinky."
Pinky.
Pinky. Pink. Pink. And then
Well, it's only going up from here, so I'm only going to become more famous. Deal with it. Don't be so sensitive, like a little bit. Pinky.
So here you have her younger brother. Either the younger brother, and he's done multiple pieces of content with her. Now, this type of content that this chick is doing, it was pioneered by Jack Doherty. Jack Doherty does this type of stuff. It's on IG Reels, it's on TikTok, and she makes like this short form stuff. And you see, she's doing an interview with her younger brother. With I had to blur it out. With her legs just up and completely spread, like she's about to give birth on the operating table. Already horrifying. But then she's talking to her brother like, "Oh, what do you feel about this?" And where I said there's 2 sides to this coin. One side to the coin is the brother is actually like not in on it, and he's upset by it, and he's just like, it wouldn't be a multiple time thing. That's why I'm saying that this is the lesser likely scenario. But if this is the lesser likely scenario, it's already bad because you know you're causing your harm to your brother emotionally by doing this, and you still have him on a platform where millions of people will see his face. So even people that don't know him locally will know him digitally now. So now he will suffer the digital bullying on top of the local bullying. The second approach is that your brother's cool with this. And he's like, "Oh, okay, I'm down to play along for your business, big sister." So your brother's just cooked at that point. That's not even your brother. That's your sister. He might as well transition right now. If he's cool with like, "Okay, yeah, I'll be humiliating and I'll pretend like I don't care," because if he actually doesn't care, or I'll pretend like I care about you doing this when I really don't and I'm so proud of you, at that point, then he's just cooked. And maybe he just looks at it like, "Hey, I'm benefiting because she's buying me a bunch of stuff." And then you've even got her dad in the picture. But this type of content, it's specifically targeted for that audience. You can just see the way that it's promoted. Because there are certain OF chicks, like, for example, how do I even give an example? Who's popular that would likely be marketed to adults? It's hard because they're all on TikTok, but there's a type of content where you can tell, okay, this is tailored towards younger people. And even the people that she collaborates with. She's collaborating with a Neon. We know Neon's audience. She was collaborating with the Jack Doherty. We know Jack Doherty's audience. So for her to get upset or be like, "Oh, where are the parents?" Oh, let's rewind. Let's rewind the tape. We're VHS mode right now. When I was a kid, when some of y'all were kids, you would watch Kids WB, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and you would get advertisements. I forgot what it was, but Power Rangers, yo. I remember I had this, they were actually twins, these guys. They were my homies when I was a little kid, and their mom would buy them it would cost like $100 at the time. The Megazord from Power Rangers. That was like the most elite thing ever. I remember seeing that. I was like, wow. I was never able to get one. My mom just couldn't afford it, but God bless my mom. She got me whatever else she could. But I would hang out at their crib and they'd be playing with this Megazord, and we would all see the advertisements for the Megazord and the Power Rangers and other things like that on the network, Cartoon Network or whatever. I forgot the actual channel that they aired Power Rangers on. The point being is that this lady, this woman, she is creating the type of content. It's like she's the Megazord / Power Ranger. So she is advertising her wares on Kids WB and Cartoon Network. And then when people come in public and they look at her and they're like, hey, you're that girl that does OF. She's like, how do you know that? That's like saying like, yo, how you kids got these Megazords? Why do y'all have them? You were advertising them to the kids. So, and this is why she gets to see this right in her face, because it's not real when you're detached. It's kind of like these streamers that promote gambling. They're like, yeah, like I'm doing giveaways and this and that, but you don't see a person that's ruining their life, ruining the life of their family, potentially deciding to end it. You're not seeing that. And if you had to look at that every single day you see a live stream of someone ruining their life, you see the debt piling up, and they got into that because of you would feel pain. Unless you're like completely detached. I don't think this chick is completely detached. I think she's just coping. Like she's just suffering some cognitive dissonance. What if every single day this scenario happened to her? It's like you're slapping her in the face. It's like, this is what you're doing. This is who's watching your stuff constantly, again and again and again. And she should feel terrible about it. She should, consistently. And that is the deal with the devil that she made. Because nobody can defend this. I don't care what you're doing. And like, sure, like there is like parenting, quote unquote, but are we not going to say that this is like Sneeko made a really good point. Like this is not predatory, her making kids type content, but making it very lewd. And her, dog, if you're interviewing a little kids relate to that. They'll watch that. Like I'll give you a great example of a kid that like kind of matured in a great way in transition. Like that dude, Matan Evan, he just used to show up everywhere. And usually people go viral and you're like, yo, where is this meme going to take it? This guy actually developed. He turned, like he was a meme, and then he started his own podcast, and his podcast is doing very, very well. Like he has his own shtick. It's performing well for him. And I wouldn't say like he's a positive or a negative influence. He's just an entertainer, and he's a great entertainer. But the point is, it's kids that watch them, and kids that are watching his podcast right now are young teens or even early 20s, because they kind of grew up with him. So that's an example of a guy that got the attention and pivoted it into something that was likely harder. Well, I mean, he doesn't have the option to just do OF unless he's going to be baiting, dudes that are, into dudes. So that's like a counter example of this chick. And you could see the shock in her face, but that's her brand. Her brand is, you're the OF girl. You're the girl that they didn't even say her name. They just said, you're the girl that does OF. That is crazy. And I hope she knows that that is all she will ever be known for. And it doesn't matter, like some people say, oh, this person made smart investments. It doesn't matter how many smart investments you make. That will always be your reputation. Now, unfortunately, some people have like developed past, for example, like Gunn, all right? Like Gunn is known for good music. He's going to beat the rat allegations. Like, no, not too many people are going to consider him that in the future. He can shake that off. She can't shake this off because everything was built on top of it. It's like when I criticized 21 Savage, where I'm like, yo, somebody that's talking about, oh no, stop the violence, anti-violence, don't rap about negativity, or Jay-Z similarly, you can't do that after you've already built you went from 0 to 1 off of that. You made your money off of that. And now you're kind of like taking the ladder up from underneath you, because people that were like you, now you're telling them like, oh, nah, you should. Well, they're not telling them. But the point is, you're already rich off of the negative things that you did. Telling people to stop doing that is a little bit, it's not hypocritical. You've grown. Maybe you can preach that stuff. But people are looking at you like, that's how you got on. That's how you got popping. And you're from where I'm from. So why wouldn't I do what you did? And especially if the person didn't suffer repercussions and they're not serving life in prison like a Dirk or something, you really can't say much to combat that. And I think that's why 21 Savage falls back from that and doesn't criticize, because he's quite a logical guy. And I don't think he likes to like experience that hypocrisy, which is why I do have a degree of respect for, or not a degree, I have a lot of respect for 21 Savage. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one.